Hey guys, welcome back. Clif Braun here, author of Social Marketing, and we're going to move on into section 3. This helped me out a lot in the beginning, and I know we're kind of like really covering the basics, but Anthony Robbins talks about, if you want to be a champion, then you've got to be into mastery, and mastery is really about mastering the fundamentals. A championship team, let's say a basketball team, they win a championship by dribbling, shooting, passing, teamwork, the basics. And so I know a lot of times you get in the business and you want to learn NLP and like all this advanced stuff, and it's like, dude, that's all great, but what's going to win the championship is the basics. And so it's so fun for me to do this training, because I remember like when I was new and I first learned this stuff, I was like, wow, it was like so cool. And then once you've been in the business for a while, you're like, oh yeah, I've heard that. Well, are you rich yet? Have you bought Lamborghinis and Ferraris, and are you building churches, and are you living the life? No. Well, then maybe you want to go back to the basics, because I promise you, the success that you're looking for lies in mastering the basics, okay? So, wham, let's talk about section 3. This is the perfect person you're looking for. Now, obviously, we're going to kind of like almost take anybody, because every dud knows a stud. And you might sign up somebody who's not that great, but then maybe it's a girl, maybe she signs up her brother, and then her brother signs up like his girlfriend, and she ends up being, usually your leaders come in like on the 3rd level. I've brought in some real superstars into the business, but most of the time, my leaders came through people. And so it's not who you know, it's who they know, and you don't know who you don't know, so talk to everybody. But it's nice to have like a little roadmap, like kind of an idea of that perfect person. So let's talk about it, okay? What you're looking for is a person who's N.C.D.A.R.T. Now, obviously, the first thing we're going to look at is, does this person have a network? Do they know people? And so, like, I'm not about signing up some hermit that lives in a log cabin. Obviously, I want to, like, maximize my efforts, get the most out of my efforts. So I'm going to look for a person that's got a bit of a network, somebody that knows some people. But it's not enough just to have a person that knows a lot of people. You've got to find a person that's got some credibility. Because maybe you know somebody and they know a lot of people, but nobody trusts them. They're going to have a hard time in this business, because it's not really a sales business. It's so much more of a credibility business, because it's all about relationships. It's not about selling people. It's about, do people like you, and do they have respect for your opinion, and will they follow you? So you're going to want to find someone that's got a big network, but it's also got to be someone that's got some credibility. I'd almost rather sign up like a grandma who's never sold anything in her life, because I can teach her the sales skills. It's her relationship with other people. Do people trust that person? And so you want to find someone that's got a network, but obviously someone that's got some credibility too, okay? I'm always looking for like influential people, because it can go a lot faster that way. The other thing is you got to find someone who has a little bit of desire, because sometimes you get that person and they know a lot of people and they're credible, but they're just kind of chilled and they're comfortable. I was at a great sushi restaurant yesterday, and I met a guy and I was like, oh dude, this guy is freaking awesome. But he was so rich, he was just comfortable. Now that's not the case with every rich person, because my favorite saying is every millionaire wants another million. But some people, they're just kind of chilled, and that might not be the person you're looking for, okay? So obviously the person's got to have a little bit of desire. The next thing is, you got to find somebody with a good attitude. And if this was like a live seminar, one of my favorite things to do is to ask everybody in the audience, dude, who knows somebody with a bad attitude? Raise your hand. And whoever doesn't raise their hand, I'm like, well, you're the person. So we all know people with a bad attitude, and obviously they're not the ones that you want to bring into this business. I love what Jed Buenelu says. He goes, don't bring them here. The cool thing about our business is we get to pick and choose who we want to work with. And so you want to find people that have a positive attitude. They always see the glass as half full. It's way more easy to work with those people than your broke, negative, nasty friends, okay? So the next thing you look for is, do they have the resources? Sometimes we do so many presentations for the wrong people. And I'm not saying they're bad people. They could have a really good heart. They could be really good people. But it doesn't make sense to pitch and sell someone that can't afford to join. Now, I always say this. It's not do they have the money. It's can they get the money. Because I couldn't afford to join when I joined. I had to go borrow the money. But it's got to be within the realm of possibilities. I mean, a homeless person on the street might not be... I always say, like, it's like we're looking for 6s and 7s. Imagine that there's like this distance, and every time you walk a person to this side of the wall and they touch the wall, then you make $1,000. Well, do you want to grab a bunch of 1s and 2s and try to walk them to the wall? No, I'd be grabbing 6s, 7s, and 8s and walking them to the wall because it's a lot easier. You know, we're not set up to help the 1s and 2s. I think there's an organization called the Red Cross, and I think they're better set up to handle the 1s and 2s. Let's help as many 6 and 7s get to 10 as we can. Let's get rich, then we can go back, and when we're stronger, then we're probably more suited to help, you know, the 2s and the 3s. But for now, we're going to want to make sure when we're doing a presentation that it's within the realm of possibilities for that person to get the money. They might not have it, but could they get it? Could they sell something? Could they borrow it? You don't want to waste your time doing presentations for people that don't have the possibility. And why get somebody all excited about something they can't do anyway? That's not cool, okay? So next thing and last thing, and probably the most important thing is, you've got to find people that are coachable. You know, if somebody's not teachable, they could have everything. They could have a big network, they could have tons of credibility, they could have all this stuff, but if they're not coachable, and I know you've signed up somebody like this before. You know, I saw a great post on Facebook. Somebody said, somebody who asks questions but then doesn't take the advice, they call them assholes. And that's hilarious and true. And I've had tons of people like that on my team. And I want you guys to understand that you're not going to find a lot of perfect people out there. And so don't get too frustrated. Remember, you're going to have a lot of people join your team, and you're going to have very few people that are total all-stars. And so it's almost like you're looking for gold, and you're sifting, and you're going to find a lot more dirt and rock and stuff, and then you're going to find maybe a little tiny gram of gold for every ton of rock that you have to go through. So just be patient, work hard, but be patient. N.C.D.A.R.T's the perfect person, but we're going to go through a lot of regular people to find those perfect people. But it's a nice little roadmap to help you understand exactly what it is that we're looking for. And Clif Braun here, Section 3, author of Social Marketing, and we'll move into Section 4 just now. Thanks for stopping by.